Thank you very much, Reverend Randy, always here to speak out for the patients. We have the head of Northern California Normal here with us today, Dale Geringer. Everybody give a big hand for him, and let's hear what Normal knows about the situation.
Well, actually, I was in Sacramento yesterday and missed the fireworks here, but you know, I was certainly disappointed, if not surprised, to hear that we would have a DEA raid, first one since the Attorney General announced the policy would be no DEA raids, especially a raid here in San Francisco, and some that is licensed by the city. I don't know a lot of facts about the raid, other than what I read in the San Francisco Chronicle. Now, the key thing that the Chronicle mentioned was, of course, DEA is alleging that Emmylyn's was not following state law. Now, that's important, of course, because the Attorney General's policy is supposed to be that he's only going to raid, DEA will not act against pubs that are in compliance with state law. The question is, who determines compliance with state law? Was never given any due process under state law. What happened, according again to the Chronicle says that the DEA alleges that Emmylyn's was not paying their full extent of state sales taxes. Now, there's a way of dealing with that. The Board of Equalization comes in and audits you, and if they find you're out of compliance, they fine you, okay? What they don't do is send in stormtroopers, sack your place, and steal all your inventory. Lawlessness is directly due to this federal government, which still refuses to recognize the legality of medical marijuana. Get an explicit policy on the paper that guarantees people due process under state law.
The lawlessness, the lack of due process, if there was a tax problem, we have a Board of Equalization. We don't need the federal government to go in and take all of the patient's medicine, right? So, I wanted to see if Dr. Aldrich, one of our historians and very good person for any information, to give us a perspective, and is always good to hear the perspective of someone who's worked on medical cannabis legislation for so many years. Dr. Aldrich, you want to come up?
Here we are again. How many times have we stood here in protest of the federal government's malfeasance against our state law enacted by all of the voters of California, at least a good majority of them? I'm wondering how many medical marijuana patients did not vote for Barack Obama. Perhaps they voted Green or Libertarian, but I'm presuming that a majority of the medical marijuana patients of the country voted probably in favor of Obama. He kept his campaign promise. He said our policy is going to be no more DEA raids against state institutions that are operating correctly under state law. We went, yay! Finally, after all these 8 years of Treasury, of IRS, of DEA, of the DOJ, of everybody at the federal level attacking us and our doctors, don't forget that. Well, we won one. And you know what? The same thing happened with 215, and what the hell are they doing? Why is it that every time we win one, they do their very best to take it away from us. And there is no more obvious example than a week after the Department of Justice says no more, guess what? We have some more. The answer is to stay together. The answer is to support anyone who undergoes this modern inquisition.
That's right.
The answer is to be supportive of our own state laws and politicians and to work on them to give a response as well as us.
Here, here.
Finally, I want to say it ain't over yet. Even this week in this building, Ken Hayes is on trial again.
That's right.
For running Champ and for farming marijuana for medical patients that was approved not only by the state law, but by the state court system. And now here he is, having spent months in prison in Romania for a tiny amount of hash. He was going to medical school to become a doctor. So the DEA grabs him, brings him back here, and puts him in Breyer's court once again. We know what happens in Breyer's court. He tries to obey the letter of the federal law. But yesterday, I heard Judge Breyer say he may not do like Judge Wu did in Los Angeles and consult with the Department of Justice about what the heck is going on. I heard Judge Breyer say he may not do that. So, where are we? Once again, we are everywhere in the state system. We have taken over the rights for medical marijuana in our state by a vote of the people, and we deserve to have those rights.
That's right.
Yeah.